You guys know the expression WWJD, right? You know what it means. What would Jesus drive? And I think the answer to that question is he wouldn't. I think his mother would. On this Mother's Day weekend, I think one of the greatest roles mothers have that's the most common is chauffeur. And so I'm sure the Blessed Mother would be the one driving him around. Isn't it the case, though, that our mothers do lead us to so many places, and that they care for us so much, and that they protect us, they advocate for us almost more than anyone else? It's that gift of a mother's love that raises children to become great. And this day we celebrate the Ascension of the Lord. We celebrate the completion of his earthly ministry. And he's now returning to the Father. He did everything he was meant to do on earth in the flesh. He called the apostles. He chose disciples. He taught them the Our Father. He taught them the Beatitudes. He gave the Sermon on the Mount. He taught them for 3 years with his teachings, by his example, by his miracles, and yes, by his suffering, death, and resurrection. And now he returns to heaven. It's a reminder for us that our vocation is to go to heaven. And all of the driving around that we do in life has as its ultimate purpose of leading us home to God. And I think this is the joy of all mothers, to see their children following the ways of the Lord. Some of you are aware that this, and you might say, is my first Mother's Day without my mother in the flesh, for she passed away last August. And while that is true, it's also true, and this is how I see it, it's her first Mother's Day in heaven. It's not about me, it's about her. And I think her sacrificial love taught me that. Her faith taught me that. It's not so much about me in the end. It's not so much about us, and every good mother knows that. It's about your children. It's about others. And we love them totally, completely, and without hesitation, even giving our lives for them. I can imagine the joy in the hearts of these mothers who are presenting their children for baptism, that they have received these new little babies, and they are entrusted with the care of them for all their life long. And what joy it is to see them become Christians this day, these little babies. But what a greater joy it will be to see them remain Christians for all their lives, and to do great deeds as Jesus did, to teach others the Beatitudes, to teach others the Our Father, and by their example, to lead many home to heaven. This is what the Ascension is all about, that calling of all of us to lead one another to our greatest good, which is to be in God's presence. And what a good Mother's Day gift it would be for all in our family to be following the way of the Lord. But in case you're a mother who perhaps isn't experiencing that gift of having your children follow the Lord, I remind you of the example of Saint Monica. Monica was one of the most famous mothers in our Christian tradition, for she had a husband that was not only a non-believer, but was also not faithful to her. He refused to allow the children to be baptized, and so she suffered for many years. And even then, once her husband was no longer with her, her son refused to practice the faith she followed. And so for 20 years, she prayed, she worried, she anguished over her son. And at one point, as it was culminating in that ending of that time, she asked the bishop to pray for her son, and she was crying so much, and the bishop said, "Surely a son of so many tears will not be lost." And within a few months, her son, Augustine, converted to Catholicism. He was baptized. He entered the priesthood. And Monica passed away within the year. Her mission was complete. And St. Augustine has become one of the greatest saints in our history. He is considered one of the 4 doctors of the Western Catholic Church, who is the reason why we practice infant baptism. He defended it. And so for us as families, we never know what the fruit of our prayer will bring, what the fruit of our love will bring. For there could be the next Augustine out here. There could be the next Monica in this room. And as we surrender our lives to the Lord, and as we give thanks to him this day for the gift of all our mothers, we ask him to bring to the fullness of life all our families, that together we may follow the ways of the Lord.